You know, I've always really hated Pizza Hut, and I can never really tell you why, but in doing the research for this video, I have really figured it out. They're communists. Good morning, afternoon, and night, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about how Pizza Hut took the former Soviet Union leader, Gorbachev, and made a commercial with him. To give you a basic rundown, in case you don't know who Michael Gorbachev is, at one point in time he was the last Soviet leader and the guy who basically helped end the Cold War. If you don't know what Pizza Hut is, well, thank your sorry ass, because it's not worth it. It's fucking terrible. And if you don't know what communism is, well, thank your stars. Thank capitalism too, because it's done its job. Enough joking around. I'm not exactly sure I can show you this entire commercial for whatever reason. I don't want to get copyright striked on a channel that isn't even fucking monetized yet. So I'm just gonna put a little clip somewhere here, and I'm just gonna explain to you what's going on. The scene basically opens up on a snowy Russian afternoon in Moscow, where you see Gorbachev and his daughter or granddaughter, whatever the hell she is, walking with him into a Pizza Hut. Inside this Pizza Hut, we find a family arguing, a mom, dad, and son. At least I assume that's what they are. Where the son and dad are having an argument whether Gorbachev is a piece of shit or not, where the son's being like, yeah, he's fucking great, and the dad's like, no, he's a piece of shit. And this goes on for about 4 or 5 seconds before the grandma or the mom chimes in and goes, well, he gave us this Pizza Hut, to which everyone else in the restaurant goes, yes, he did, hail Gorbachev. And it makes me really sad that in the late 90s that they came up with the "and everybody clapped" meme. So where the fuck did all this shit come from to begin with? Why is Gorbachev in a Pizza Hut commercial? Why was Pizza Hut in Moscow to begin with? Why are they doing this? Well, dear viewer, I'm here to tell you. So back in 1990, the first Moscow Pizza Hut opened just about a year before the Soviet Union's fall, and it was one of the first foreign-owned restaurants to open up in Moscow. I think maybe McDonald's had beaten it out by a couple of years, but it was the first capitalist foothold that had taken place and planted roots in Russia. The main reason behind this, and one of the main reasons that we'll get into later, is Gorbachev had a couple of policies that he wanted to move forward to change and reform some of the ideals of Soviet Russia at the time, basically allowing capitalist-type things to be in their nation. It has its own specific name. I'm not going to go into it because I can't pronounce it, and I don't want to look like an idiot on the internet. The idea for the Moscow Pizza Hut came from a personal friendship between the ambassador from Russia to the United States, Anatoly Dobrinin? However the hell you say this name here, and the CEO of Pizza Hut's parent company, PepsiCo, a man by the name of Donald M. Kendall, which is kind of insane because prior to this commercial becoming a thing, PepsiCo and the USSR had several deals and several things in the past. 1972, there was a point in time where PepsiCo and Russia had a deal where every basically bottle of Coke syrup or Pepsi syrup that was sent to them, they would get a bottle of vodka in return. This ended up leading to PepsiCo selling a bunch of vodka at the time, and were the only ones allowed to sell said vodka. In 1989, the Soviet Union gave PepsiCo 17 submarines and 3 warships in exchange for $3 billion worth of soda. Ended up making them the 6th largest navy in the world at the time, and I know what you're thinking, with that kind of arsenal, how do they lose against Coke? But I'm gonna tell you right now, Russian warships are dog shit. You could stick a 10-year-old with a pellet gun outside and take out 2/3 of those fucking things, but I can tell you right now what the PepsiCo CEO was probably thinking.
I'll make that deal. How about you bitch, you make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
And lastly, around the same time frame, Pepsi and the USSR had a deal where Pepsi would send a large Pepsi can into outer space with them as an advertisement kind of thing. Getting back on track with the pizza, that kind of gives you a little bit of a groundwork. PepsiCo / Pizza Hut at the time were going really, really heavy-handed on their advertising, basically having everyone from Muhammad Ali, Dennis Rodman, and, well, a future controversial figure.
What will people think?
Let them talk.
Donald.
Ivana. Deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first. Entry first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Make ads for their pizza campaigns. Because of this, they had a lot of work with a company called BBDO. BBDO, which is an advertising firm, had done most, if not all, of their ads at the time, and the history behind this gets a little hazy, but as far as I understand, someone from BBDO had the idea that they wanted to film an advertisement in Russia so that they can send Pizza Hut as like a worldwide kind of thing. Basically to stick it to Papa John's and Domino's and any of the other fast food pizza chains at the time, and basically saying, hey, Pizza Hut, we're the fucking best, dude. Which, no, it's not. Luckily for them, around the time frame that BBDO had this idea for this kind of thing to happen, the Soviet Union had fallen, and there was a lot of political turmoil in Russia itself. At the time, they had a president, or I don't know his actual official title, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, was basically seen as an idiot and a laughingstock. And the former Soviet leader, Gorbachev, had run a bunch of projects and a bunch of campaigns basically against this guy because he was such an idiot. Well, this ended up causing Gorbachev to lose all of his money because none of his projects really did anything. And I know what you're thinking. Well, he was a political leader. Well, why didn't he have any more money from that? Where's his pension? Well, yeah, he had a pension. He absolutely had a pension. It came out to about 4,000 rubles or rubies or whatever the fuck Russia's bullshit currency is. It came out to about 4,000 of those a month. But unfortunately, due to the time, there was a lot of mass inflation going on. So his pension wasn't worth shit. So he was strapped for cash. And Pizza Hut was making this big commercial, or had this big commercial idea. So they reached out to him saying, hey, Mr. Gorbachev, you know, we want to do this commercial with you. What do you say? And Gorbachev was like, man, I got you, bro. Yep, I'm here, but I have some ground rules. For the most part, he had very simple things, you know, what his pay was and things like that you would only have in a brand deal. But he would also say he wanted to write the commercial, and he refused to take a bite of pizza, saying, and I quote, I was a former political leader, I can't be seen eating pizza on camera. So instead, they got his granddaughter, I don't remember which, to eat the pizza instead on camera. And yeah, that's actually kind of it, if I'm gonna be honest. There's not a whole lot of other information. It was broadcasted at the time, in 1998 at the Rose Bowl football game, and never in Russia. However, even though it wasn't broadcasted in Russia, he did get a lot of backlash and a lot of negative press because of, well, this ad that he had done. But other than that, nothing really, other things kind of came of it. Later on, he did end up doing a commercial with Louis Vuitton, weirdly enough. I assume, because I believe it was Putin's reign at the time, it was more of a fuck you to Putin, or he was out of money, either way. Nowadays, when you see or hear anything about this commercial, you usually see it in lists where people talk about how it was a huge blunder, or how it was a really big oversight by Pizza Hut at the time, which I don't necessarily agree with. Mostly because the dude just wanted money. I don't really think there was anything negative about it. It's just kind of a weird commercial, really, at the end of the day. And the weirdest part about this entire thing that I mostly found was how tight the USSR and PepsiCo were. But if I put more than about 2 seconds of thought into it, Russia was just doing what Russia always does at the time. And whenever they have a really bad political climate, either due to inflation or lack of food and water, they start giving military equipment away to people in exchange for food and water. Because communism works when people are hungry and starving, but, you know, after that, it doesn't really fucking work anymore. And that's basically the entire thing. This one was kind of short, sweet, and to the point. I wanted to get back in the groove of things. Expect a new video next week. I don't know what the fuck that's gonna be yet. I have like 4 different fucking scripts going on right now. Anyway, love you. Bye.